Welcome, superhero aficionados. This is Rome Warrior, back with another webisode. Webisode? Is that a thing? I don't know. But anyhow, we're back anyhow. And this time, what we're going to be talking about is COVID. Because, that's what everybody's talking about. We're talking about the masking. Yay, masking. I love masking. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody likes masking. We hate the masking. But here we go again. We're going with more masks showing up. So boring, right? So here's what we're going to do. I got to give you guys a quick caveat here. Last time I posted something about COVID, YouTube yanked my video. Very upset about that, very cranky about that. YouTube, don't be yanking my videos. And to prove that what I'm saying is not much of malarkey, I have the CDC data right here to prove my point. Alright, so here we go. Let's do my switch button clicking here. Alright, this is the CDC website, as you can see right there. We got covid.cdc.gov/COVID data tracker/county view. Alright, it doesn't have to be county view, but we're going to look at it anyhow, because it's very helpful. Anyhow, starting off with, recently you may have heard that CDC has once again changed their guidance, because, they change their minds more often than women change their clothing, or shoes. But you have your CDC once again changing their mind. Even if you're fully vaccinated, you need to go out and wear a mask while you're indoors. If you are in an area of, what's the terms again, substantial or high transmission levels. Now, here's this big old map of high, substantial, moderate, low, and no data. No data means there was something goofy going on. Maybe they didn't get anything. Maybe the information they got, like for instance, said that they had more people that had both shots than people that had just the one shot, which, doesn't really make sense, because if you had at least one shot, then you had to have two, whatever. So it just, basically, that's their kind of catch-alls for screw-ups, and I guess that one county in Alaska is the only gray one I found, but anyhow. So let's kind of dive in here. You're probably going to see there's a lot of red, alright? A lot of places have high transmission rates. Okay, very dangerous. This thing is highly transmissible. Got it. Except, let's take a look at what transmissibility means, because that was something I'm always curious about, is how do you rate these things? What's your metric for it? Well, scrolling down real quick like, we're not going to worry about any of this just yet. We're going to look down here. This is my metric. This is how I determine if I am low, moderate, substantial, or high. First, I look at total new cases per 100,000 persons, in the past 7 days. So in the past 7 days, out of 100,000 people, how many new cases do I have? The high, the red, is 100. 100 people out of 100,000. That's 0.1%. 0.1. That's nothing. That's ridiculous. Why would I even look at that? I might say 100 might be my low transmissibility, or maybe my moderate at the highest point. But freaking high? Heck no, that's ridiculous. And that's the lowest number they have for high transmission. And then you've got for substantial, anywhere between 50 and 99.99. Just say between 50 and 99. You can't have 0.9 people. Doesn't make sense. But anyhow, I mean, you can, depending on how you set it up. But anyhow, that's just dumb. Moderate is between 10 and 49, and low means between 0 and basically 10 people out of 100,000. That's called nothing. That's just not transmitting. That's useless. Alright, so throwing it out there. Percentage of gnats that are positive in the past 7 days, aka positive tests. How many positive tests do we have over the past 7 days? Percentage-wise, which this really doesn't make sense why you'd put the two together. In fact, they have in this itty-bitty little text, because, they want you to break out the old microscope. It kind of talks about this. So here's the level of community transmission. This metric uses 10 indicators for categorization, total number of cases per 100,000 persons in the last 7 days, and percentage of positive diagnostic and screening nucleic acid amplification tests during the past 7 days. Okay? So, new cases plus percentage of people testing positive. Which last I checked was just a new case. Maybe it's people who are testing positive after it's not a new case, they're still testing positive. Maybe that's what they're trying to go for. Let's see, NAT remains the gold standard for clinical diagnostic direction, blah, blah, blah. Includes viral testing such as NATs, which you just said. Calculated by, oh yeah, here's, this one's, I think it's in here. Total number of new cases per 100,000 persons within the last 7 days is calculated by adding the number of new cases in the county or other administrative level in the last 7 days divided by the population in the county or other administrative levels and multiplying by 100,000. Yes, that's how you normally come up with your math, strangely enough. So, let me show you. Let me pull up the old calculator right here real quick. Let me see. Yeah, I got a lot of apps got that. All right, so here's my old calculator. So let's pretend for a moment that I've got 500,000 people in my county. Okay? 50,000. We'll call it 50,000. That would be easier. So it says total number of new cases per 100,000 is calculated by dividing the number of positive cases in the county during the last 7 days by total number of tests. No, that's wrong. Yep, here we go. Sorry. See, the lines are so dang tiny, it's hard to read these things. Total number of new cases per 100,000 persons for the last 7 days calculated by adding the number of new cases in the county in the last 7 days divided by the population in the county. So let's say I've got out of my county, I've got 50,000 people in my county. So take I got 50,000 and I got 100 new cases. All right. 100 divided by 50,000. Oops. Too many zeros. Equals 0.002. And then we multiply that by 100,000. That's 200 cases a day. Or, excuse me, 200 cases over the next week. Over the past week. Strangely enough, that's just how math works. I don't know why you have to break that down to me. I'm not an idiot. Alright, we'll throw that away for a minute. We'll bring it back here probably momentarily, depending on how I feel like it. But anyhow, percentage positive diagnostic and screening net during the last 7 days calculated by dividing the number of positive tests in the county during the last 7 days by total number of tests resulted over the last 7 days. So again, you have, here's the number of tests administered, and here many came back positive. Okay, so I guess that's how they're getting it. So this thing, how many are coming back positive, how many people are getting tested? Between 0 and basically 5% of them is low, 5 to 8% is moderate, 8 to 10%. I mean, that's barely going up a point at all. 10%, if you get over 10% of your cases as positive, you are having high transmission. 10% of your cases coming back that means 90% of people are coming back negative. 90% of people are coming back negative. I don't care. That's not high transmissibility. The CDC has these low metrics for some stupid reason. Let's face facts, we all know what the reason is, but if I say it, YouTube will ban me. Oh wait, I don't care if YouTube bans me. So here we go. The reason they got it at such a low standard is so they can have more people scared. Why they need more people scared? Who knows? Power tripping, I guess. They like to watch people scream with their heads, like they're chickens with heads cut off, I guess. Now here's the other thing too. If you have two different indicators with two different levels, so if I got this one blue, this one blue, and this one yellow, then I got to go with whatever's the higher one. Okay, that makes sense. I won't fault them for that, because again, you're trying to be on the more safe side if you're actually caring about being safe. Let's see here. There's something about I found it the other day, and now I can't find it. Threshold counties with fewer than 10 cumulative cases per 100 population. Oh, that's for blue. Okay, so they're just explaining where all these different counties come from. Then they have some for schools. Again, I'm kind of reading through this, trying to remember all this silly stuff. But anyhow, one of the things I did find earlier, and now, of course, I can't find it, which makes me kind of a little upset. I know it came from the CDC. But basically, one of the things they had on here about their metrics is that basically if your county or whatever or not time area, but whatever area you're going through is too small to run these numbers and get anything substantial, you had to basically get a few more counties together and put all those numbers together in order to get something that. So basically, let's say if I've got 500 people in my county, then all the numbers are going to be jacked off. So here we'll go 500 people in a county. So let's say we'll go back with my 100. All right, 100 people out of my county divided by 500 people is this, and multiply that by 100,000. Oh wait, I still get 20,000 out of 100,000. Yeah, I don't know where they're getting their information that says that's too small. But anyhow, probably because of that. Whatever. But still, it's just kind of a goofy thing. So, like I said, we got a whole bunch of red here. So, we are going to do some quick things here. All right. So, what were the big states, right? They said that Texas was going to get themselves killed, Florida was going to get themselves killed, and I think Mississippi was having like the lowest vaccination rate. So, let's just take a look at Mississippi real quick. Actually, you know what? Let's go with Texas first. So, one of the things that's kind of interesting with this is that it's going to show straight up just that state. Or, excuse me, straight up just that county before we'll actually give you numbers, which can be a little bit hard to really track down. But let's just go with Bastrop. I have no idea where that is. We'll go with Bastrop County. All right, so here's my number. I've got number of people vaccinated. Not applicable. What the heck? Look at that. I find a random county in the middle of Texas that covers nothing. This is all vaccinations. Oh, this is all vaccinations. I don't care about that, but that's interesting. Not applicable. That means nobody in this county apparently has gotten vaccinated. Just none. That's hilarious. All right, so here we go. Here's all of our cases. 303 new cases over the past 7 days. They're saying 341.51 per 100,000 people. So, again, take a look at that. 303 new cases, and that's just new cases. 303 new cases. This here is doing that mad magic math they're doing, so I'd have to know what their county size to show you what that is. I ain't gonna look it up. Number of deaths. None. Just none. Percent positivity, 21%. Okay. Testing volume, 1,228 out of 100,000 people. Okay. New hospitalization admissions, zip, zero, nada. So out of 303 people testing positive, getting new cases, none of them went to a hospital. What has been the talk about this COVID thing? Oh, we need to slow the spread so we don't overdo the hospitals. According to this, they ain't getting any more hospital beds. Maybe I chose the wrong county. Let's find another county in Texas. Is there anything else here? Yeah, more ICU beds. Again, nothing. Oh, hey, look. Population. So, here's our county population. Population density, 99. Household size. Percent uninsured. Why do you have that information? Percent living in poverty. Useless information. Percent population 65 years and older. Okay, that makes sense. CDC Social Vulnerability Index. What the fat is that? I don't even know what that means. COVID-19 Community Vulnerability Index. Again, what does that mean? Metropolitan Classification. Don't care. NCHS Urban Rural Classification. Large Fringe Metro. Again, means nothing. Rural or Urban Continuum Code Classification. Counties and metro areas of 1 million population or more. What does all this mean? This means nothing to me. It's useless data. Alright, let's find... It's Mason County, Llano County. I think there's an El Paso County. Let me see here. Is there an El Paso County? There's an El Paso County. I think that's an important county. Oh, look! It's substantial. I don't know what's in El Paso County. Is there a important town there? Anyhow, here's El Paso County. Maybe you want to do a quick look. El Paso County, Texas. Oops, not Tex. County of El Paso. I'm just doing some quick look here. Screw all that noise. Where is your... The heck is this trash? I want to know like a famous town in El Paso. Oh, El Paso, the town is in El Paso, the county. Well, go figure. Okay, I figured. But anyhow, big town. All right, we'll do a quick check here. So, out of there, 613 new cases, less than 10 deaths. Oh, wait, is that what that last one was? Less than 10? I think I just said nil, period. So, less than 10 deaths. They're not even counting. They're just saying less than 10. How many is less than 10? 5? 0? Percent positivity, 77.37. Testing volume, again, whatever, don't care. New hospital admissions, 66. Okay, here's some numbers we can use. So out of my 613 cases, 66 more people went into a bed. And I closed my calculator. Go figure. So let's see here. Out of, 66 people, 613. 10% of the people, well, 11. We'll go 11. 11% of the people that got the COVID wound up in a bed. Yeah. That's kind of big. But for a disease that's trying to kill you, 11% ain't that big. Alright, percent beds used. Oh, hello. Problem. Percent of the beds used. 4.26%. I am using 5% of my beds for my COVID cases. Less than 5%. Which means my other 95% is doing something else. That's like 4.25%. That's ridiculous. That's tiny. Percent of ICU beds being used, which is basically this number but more, because this is all of the beds and this is just the ICU beds, so this is going to include the ICU beds, but that's 8.36%. So I'm not using that much. That was the whole thing the entire time, was talking about we need to slow the spread, not because it's trying to kill everybody, because everybody's going to wind up in the hospital. Except everybody ain't lining up in the hospital. I mean, look at this. The highest this thing gets since so we got July, April, so April, May, June, so that means there's 3 months here. That means it's basically January. So since January of this year, the highest it got was like 21, 23, we'll go with 23%. About 23% of their beds were being used for COVID. Okay, that's about a quarter of your beds for COVID. For the most dangerous disease ever, not that big a deal. That's ridiculous. Let's go with Dallas. Has Dallas got its own county? Dallas County, look at that. I hope it's Dallas itself. But anyhow, Dallas County. Oh, here we go. High again. Okay, good. We're back to high. 4,683 cases. New cases. Alright, sounds good. 177 out of 100,000. Yeah, not that big. 24 deaths. Pull out the calculator again. 24 deaths. Oops, not 24/7. 24 deaths out of 4,683. So out of all my new cases, how many people died? Oh, less than 1%. In fact, it's 0.5%. Nope, nothing to see here. New hospital admissions, 303. Okay, do my math again. 303 divided by 4,683. 6% of the people getting sick are winding up in a hospital bed. Yep, don't care. 7.83% of the beds are being used in Dallas County. Less than 8% of the beds are being used for COVID. I am not seeing a huge spike in the hospitals are being overrun with COVID. Now, if I see 50% of the beds being used are being used for COVID, then I got a problem. But freaking, it's less than 10%. Okay, here's one above 10%. Their ICU beds, 17%. Okay, intensive care, 17%. That gets a little bit worrisome. Just a smidge. Not enough for me to give a darn. Alright, now let's switch over to Mississippi. Alright, like I said, Mississippi is considered to be one of the lowest vaccinated places. Alright, that's the big thing, right? Vaccine. So here's Mississippi, and we'll just choose this county right here. What's this county? It won't even click on it, so it ain't small. Fine, be that way. Let's go with Tate County. There's Tate County. Look at that. Way the heck up there. Okay. So here's Tate County. It's another red one, because they're all red. 38 cases. Less than 10 deaths, which means nothing, because look at my little bar. It says zip, zero, nada. We can't say none. How dare you say that nobody's dying from it, so we're just going to call it less than 10. 13% testing positive on their little positive case. No new admissions. No percent of the beds being used, or ICU beds. And look at that, 0.0% change. We had that with that first county we looked at. We looked at some random county. They aren't using any hospital beds. Oh, well, it's because there's no hospital in that area. Okay. Let's see here. Where's the county, or not the county seat? Where's the dang... Trying to remember the county that has the capital in it. Harrison County? No, that's way down south. Is it Jefferson County? That's Jefferson County. Anyhow, it's Jefferson County. Here's another one. I know this is a big county. 16 cases. Nope. Less than 10 deaths. Nope. Positivity's gone way up. Testing volume down. 7 new admissions to the hospital, and yet none of the beds are being used. What? You admitted 7 people to your hospital, and you're not putting them in any beds. You know what that tells me? They went to the hospital, got admitted into the hospital, and then got kicked out the same day. Because, oh, here's a shot, whatever it is, of, maybe it's that hydrochloroquine stuff, and out the door they go. I don't know, maybe they're doing some in-home stuff. But just look at that. I mean, here's our total vaccinated in Jefferson County. Hey, look, I have something that isn't not applicable, aka it doesn't have any information for me. People vaccinated. Oh, 54% of the population in Jackson County, which, again, this is Mississippi, who's got some of the lowest vaccination rate. 54% are still vaccinated, at least one dose. 46 fully vaccinated, which, is not that big a difference. So that sounds right on trend. Population that's had one... Look at that. 3,000 kids under the age of 12 have got this stupid thing, and that's considered to be 64% of the county. Good grief. You don't have... A, you don't have that many kids. B, that's a lot of kids to vaccinate. And then you got most of your... So this county does not seem to have a problem with getting vaccinated. I mean, you've got, well, again, 54%, at least one shot, 46%, both shots. Alright, where is Harrison County? I know this is kind of a not necessarily a densely populated area, but I definitely know it's got some hospitals. So, 958 cases. Alright, 460 out of 100,000. Okay, I could see that being I could see that as being problematic. Okay, 460 out of 100,000 people. That's about 0.4%. A little bit problematic. Less than 10 deaths. Look at this. Dropped. Just gone before April. Just no more deaths since April due to COVID. Positivity's gone up. Here's our testing volume. Don't care. New hospital admissions. 46 more people went into the hospital. So again, let's take a quick. And this is over 7 days. 7 days. That's a week. Not that long. Alright, so 46 people out of 958 people. This is 4.5%. Or, excuse me, almost 5%. There we go. So this is 5% of my population getting positive cases or winding up in a hospital. Less than 5%, really. We're rounding up here. Yeah, I can see that being slightly problematic. Just slightly. So that one county might have a slight problem. Maybe. Ish. But not really. Percent of beds being used. Here we go again. 13% of my beds being used for the COVID. Again, ICU is 23. Okay, so this is a little bit problematic. This slightly problematic as well. But again, we're not overrunning the hospital with COVID cases. And that is the whole thing this entire time. We gotta mask up so we can prevent overdoing the hospitals. They ain't. Well, you see, every single one of those beds is not being used for COVID. Or every bed that is being used for COVID is not being used for something else, like cancer patients. Right. How many people have seen hospitals always at max population? Nobody? Okay, just checking. Just checking. Alright, let's switch gears here. Alright, so we had Texas, we had Mississippi, switch over a little bit more to the east, hit up Florida. We all love Florida, right? And their America, 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 freedom. Let's see, where the heck is Jefferson County? Jefferson County over there? Let's see. I don't think it's Jefferson County. I think that's Jefferson County right there. It might be there. It'd be really nice if they said, here's the idiot. Oh, Palm Beach County. I know that's supposed to be a pretty heavily densed one. Palm Beach County. Okay. So here we go again. Let's see here. We got 5,958 new cases. Okay, 5,958. So that's a good chunk of change, right? That's a good population spike. Not as big as that county in Mississippi. No deaths. Less than 10. Not even showing up on my scale here. That one stopped right at the end of maybe about the start of June. Okay, for the world's most deadly disease, this thing sure ain't killing a whole lot of people. New admissions, 612. Okay, let's take a look-see. 612 divided by 5958. 10%. 10% of the cases. Okay, yep, I can see that being slightly problematic. But that's one county. How many counties have we looked at that didn't have anywhere near those numbers and they're still called high transmissibility? Oh, so dangerous. Percent of beds being used, 15%. How many times are we going to have to look at this? 25% for ICU. Okay, again, problematic, but again, that's one county. Is masks really stopping any of this? Because from the last I checked, the answer is no. Here's how we prove it. Let's go look at everyone's favorite, New York. Do you have a New York county? Is there a New York county? That'd be hilarious if New York was its own county. Queens County. Hey, there you go. Let's go to Queens County. I don't even know where any of these places are. Queens County. Substantial. Wow, look at that. In the middle of flippin' New York, magically, there's very little transmissibility going on. Because they were all vaccinated, guys. All vaccinated, so nobody got it. 2,041 cases. That's a lot. But it's 90 out of 100,000. So it's less than 100, right? Uh-oh. Less than 10 deaths. Now, they actually show up on the bar here, all the way up to about here. But still, even in New York, the most dead-heavy set of people, individuals, that have been having all kinds of problems, even they ain't dying out there. Testing volume. Hospital admissions, 101. Break out the calculator. 101 divided by 2041. Uh-oh, 5%. Beds being used, 2.65 bleeding percent of their beds being used for COVID. Because guess what? New York's got a bazillion hospitals. Where is the crying? Why are we crying over this? This is stupid information. Look at this. We got county estimated 2 million people. Who cares? Who gives a darn on all this stuff? Okay, even the high stuff, the places that were problematic, is still 10%. And I get, like I said before, it's not considered deadly unless you're over 5%. But guess what? We ain't getting that level of deaths. The worst we're getting is 10% of people getting sick are winding up in a hospital. Now, why would they wind up in a hospital, you might ask? Okay, so here's some data that you might not know when it comes to people winding up in hospitals. I'm actually going to switch back because there's no reason to look at that anymore. You can just look at my beautiful mug. But anyhow, when it comes to hospitalizations, we talk about hospitalizations. What are they there for? All right, here's the kicker. When it comes to people winding up in hospitals, there are a number of different reasons they might wind up there. Some of it is the fact that, yes, they are having a hard time breathing because of the Rona. They get sick, and their bodies just can't handle it. They've got all the different numbers out there. They're old, they're fat, they've got underlying health conditions, whatever. But another piece to the puzzle is that some people wind up going to the hospital when they stub their toe. Think about that. How many individuals do you personally know that wind up going to the hospital because they were running a cold that day? Hospitalization. I've known people like this. They go to the hospital, the emergency room, because they're just not feeling good. Okay, if you're not feeling good over like a week, yeah, I get that. Go to the freaking hospital. There's something wrong with you. Or at least go talk to your doctor. I just didn't feel good today, so I went to the hospital. That's ridiculous. Come on, go freaking take a nap. You'll be feeling better. Now, I have known that certain individuals did wind up, there's a few that I do know that when they wind up going to the hospital because of the Rona, The Rona made them too tired to drink anything or eat anything. It wasn't the Rona that was getting to them. It was the fact they weren't eating or drinking anything. All right, that's a sustenance thing. And again, if you fed yourself and watered yourself, essentially, you'd have been fine. But I can see where the problem is, because trust me, if you get hit with something that makes you, because that's one of the big things, right? The original danger sign for COVID was loss of taste and smell. If I lose my sense of taste, well, for those of you that have sense of taste, I never had, but if you lose your sense of taste, you don't want to eat anything. Nothing tastes good, so you just wind up not eating. And if seriously that's the problem, is I just don't want to eat, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Go eat something. I don't care if it tastes like chalk. Go eat food. If you know that pizza normally tastes good, and today when you ate pizza it didn't taste good, you just don't feel like eating. Well, guess what, buddy? Go eat anyhow. You need food. You need fuel. And actually, I do want to point something real quick here that I'm noticing as I'm having my yaks. So here's my total cases again, all right? This is United States at a glance. Cases and deaths reported. 34 million people in the United States over the last 30 days have had, or no, is this grand total? What is this? This is grand total. This can't be right. Okay, no, this isn't. I was gonna say, wait a minute, they can't have 4 people over the last 30 days get the thing. So this is grand total right here. Okay, so this is just their trend picture. But anyhow, over the last year and a half, a little bit over, 34 million people, about 35 million people wound up getting the COVID. All right, so that means out of a country of 33. There we go. That's our rough estimate of population density in the United States. It's 330 million. So out of that, we had... Oh, dang it, I did it again. Delete. Oh, for the love of Pete. Stupid thing. Okay, so 34972 divided by 330. Oops, too many threes. 330,000. Okay, so there's 330 million. That means up to this point, since the start of the things that we were tracking, only 11% of the United States population has even caught the stupid thing. 11%. That's what we were seeing on a normal day-to-day average for hospitalizations. It was 11%. It's ridiculously small. Who cares? There's more people than that dying in car accidents. I don't have the data right in front of me. I'm sure I could go find it, but we'll get there later. Alright. Death count, 611. Okay, so 611,051 divided by 34972,532. Now, before I hit the equals button, that way nobody is shocked and surprised when I say this. Alright? Here's the deal with death counts. Again, disease is considered deadly over 5% of number of people dying from the number of people infected. Less than 5%. Here we go. 1.7% of the population died from the COVID. And excuse me, 1.7% of the people who got COVID died. Again, don't care. That's sad, yes, but don't care. This is ridiculous. In fact, we're going to slight pause here real quick. Alright, so I was looking around. Apparently, car accidents is not near as high as I thought it was. But anyhow, here's a stat to go with. I think this is off CDC at some point. I couldn't find it on the CDC, but I also wasn't digging that much. This is the website itself is called JAMA Network. I don't care what the rest of their article is. I'm just looking for the numbers, right? So this is the causes of death. We're going to ignore all these years because COVID didn't exist back then, right? That's the rule. So heart disease in first, cancer in second, and then we get COVID. Look at the giant difference between cancer and COVID. That's a huge thing. Heart disease, too. It's double the number. You had twice as many people die of heart disease in 2020 than you did with COVID. And we've been dealing with heart disease for how long? Again, why am I concerned? Cancer, ditto. I've been dealing with cancer forever. Oh, but cancer and heart disease doesn't spread. Really? I mean, yes, I know it doesn't spread, but guess what? This thing, even though it's spreading, still isn't killing near... I mean, we have unintentional injuries, stroke, chronic lower respiratory diseases. It means you get them over and over again. Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, influenza, pneumonia. This is one of the things a lot of people like to point out, is people dying from influenza and pneumonia, as there's more people that die from that than COVID. According to this, not so much. Alright, now again, I have a hard time believing this number here, the 345,000, because, let's see, that was inside of 1 year, and right now we're at 611, which means you basically doubled it almost, inside of an additional 6 months of everybody having, at least one shot, whatever. So, those numbers are always kind of different anyhow, just because, how do we count the COVID deaths? For a while, they're counting anybody that died with COVID in their system wound up being COVID death, regardless if they actually had COVID. But anyhow, here I showed you the numbers. It's not an opinion, YouTube. It's the facts. This thing, factually speaking, is not causing problems as far as hospitals are concerned. Stop coming out with that. Give me a new story. Tell me something different. Telling me that people are dying going to hospitals is not working, because we're proving that's not the case. Like I said, you've got freaking 611,000 people died out of 34 million that got it. It's nothing. Alright, it's what did I say, 1.7%? I mean, yes, I get it. That's just too many deaths. Too many deaths. I got that. One death is too many. I get that. So at what point are you going to stop abortion here? Just asking for a friend.